Yeah.
Okay, so I want to look at your packet from today because I was looking at the student work and I didn't. I noticed students were making smaller mistakes that led to them missing like the higher level questions because some of these questions in the exit tickets they combine a couple of the skills.
Mm-hmm.
One quick question I had is, do you have a poster in your room somewhere, like an anchor chart for order of operations?
I did. Everything's taken off my walls.
Oh, to prepare for the practice EOC.
Yeah. Shelby wants it like EOC ready for.
Okay.
So there are no anchor charts in my room.
But there was one up all year.
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it just says PEMDAS and says what each one is.
Okay. So here's what I'm thinking for fifth period. You are having kids copy this right now, correct?
Yeah. This is. I love that you're bringing this up. These are the changes I made. I made these changes. This is my exemplar I made before class, because I had negative exponents up here with the power rule up here. And move the quotient rule to the very last one, because this is over the quotient rule and this is not.
Okay, can you show me what the handout looks like? Do you have it on your computer?
No, I haven't changed the physical packet. Are you saying, sorry, I should let you say what you're thinking before I try to guess.
Yeah, so give them this stuff already typed up. They don't need to be writing this down. They don't need to be writing this down, they just need to do examples with it. So if you,
Okay.
so that's the first major piece of feedback. The second is that these model problems don't line up to know where they are. So for example, here's the quotient rule where you wrote it down.
Right.
And then
That's
down over here is where you did it. And so for me, like when I was working on exit tickets, I always like go back to your packet and I go back to look for the examples and
Right.
I was like reading here, divide this, but the problem next to it was actually about negative exponents.
Right. That is what I changed, the order of these things.
Okay, so let's type it in though, and then I have something else that I think is going to help to get to the next level.
Okay, so let's see. And in this example, I was going to change to be -5 and +2, since that's what the X ticket looks like, and that seemed to mess a lot of them up. Does that make sense to you? Because like on the exit ticket, what I noticed was number 2 has this negative exponent on the inside, and a lot of them were like, wait, should I invert it and then do the power rule? Or
I actually think it's more complicated to have it on the outside. I think it's good to show them that. Both are important, I think.
I feel like I need two examples then. Like one with it on the, because a lot of kids were asking like,
well, you have one on the practice, and then that can be when you agmo, because that was my question for later, is which one's your agmoing? I thought I saw one on the practice.
I mean, I'm agmoing all of them.
It's not totally feasible, though. I don't think, like, what are you, let's pick the highest leverage ones, I think. But going back to this.
Okay, I'm typing these things in right here, so.
Here, let's do something to the format, though. Like, make it a chart so it's like, they can see the rule and the problem on the side. The rule and the problem on the
I'll
side.
draw lines.
Okay.
So, product rule.
Great. Now here's the next thing I want to say. So this is like the product rule on steroids. And so underneath here, just show them a quick one of like, say,
like just 5 to the second, like so.
5 to the second in a parenthesis, or 5x to the second. In the parentheses though, to the
what I saw
whatever power. Because there are still some kids who missed, there were about 7 kids who still missed number 1, which should be like, it's just very simply the product rule. These are the kids with the hundreds on the top, but some kids still missed this, which showed that they didn't, like,
right.
That's just a very basic.
So when I was agmoing, I noticed that they were mostly getting this stuff right, but they were getting things where the base was a number wrong, which is really common. Would you So I
You
was,
could put 2 then. I mean, there's no danger in putting 2. So if you wanna,
yeah, I know what you're saying.
or 3 even, you know?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Do one with the parentheses as well, I would say.
Great. Okay. So there's a bunch of examples.
Mm-hmm. And this is a good way for them to practice at add fractions too, which we know is something that's later. Okay.
And that was on the EOC.
And here, just make sure you, like, when you're going over this, since you're not having to write it down anymore, you can spend a little time, like, marking out these examples.
Oh, what am I doing? Definition takeover. Next to the A. Okay, I can do this also.
Okay, take the minutes because I'll be lunch soon.
So then. Cool.
You did a negative exponent here though, and you haven't done that yet.
Do a negative exponent rule first.
You know, and then you have one here. Because what you're gonna.
Cool.
I just remember myself when I was taking that USC, I had to just jog my memory on rules of exponents before doing the complicated ones like this, and I think kids just need a little refresher. Okay, so you did negative exponents. Great.
I'm gonna delete this example because they did one like it in the do now, and I'll just go over that in the do now,
Okay.
and then we can just end on this.
So that's the one you're gonna do negative exponents with, and I think that's a good one to do. And I do, I think it's okay to have the negative on the outside. I do. I think like when I was looking through it was order of operations more than that.
I think I need to like revise the practice problem to have a negative on the inside though. So like
Okay, so do
when
that.
I look at
There was one I remember that you said the answer wasn't there. I think it was tower power number 2. Tower power 2 number 2. Yes. This guy.
Yeah, I'll change that guy. Let's make it like number 10 exit ticket.
Yep.
Simplify.
back to those model problems, just, I had a bajillion questions and I gotta make sure that.
I need to put in a line in the quotient rule. Ah,
If it's acting up, then you can talk to Shelby and switch it out, because we have another one.
really?
Because I had to do this.
My mouse doesn't work. It's just always this, and it freezes a lot.
Yeah, talk to Shelby.
Hopefully that saves. While we wait on that, what was your other feedback on the model problems?
I just think they were on steroids, and you have to remember that we're going to have to cover the basic, right? The model problems covered all the different things that they need to be able to do for exponents on the EOC practice we had, and on the exit ticket, except for number 4, which we'll talk about. It was just like they need an intermediary one, like these ones are showing here.
Mm-hmm. What if I left space? Well, I don't know. I have this feeling that's fine. So I guess I wonder, do you feel like them not having something to write, would writing something here be useful?
You could have them write these,
Right.
but I think that's fine. It's just a matter of timing. How is timing today?
Well, if they're not writing this, that should be fine. This was not taking timing. We had extra time to deal
So
with.
maybe you comment bubble these, and these are the ones you do with them real quick.
Mhm. If
If this computer would work. Probably because you have 14 documents open. No, mine does that when I have one. Okay, so we covered, what do we have though so far? Product rule, check. And
I just need that in quotient rule.
power rule, negative exponent quotient, okay. But the other thing is shifting around to make sure the problem next to it aligns. Cool, computer.
Cool. Yeah. And I think, well, now that we've moved these, like I did, product rule, then power rule, then and negative exponents, and quotient rule's now down here, this is deleted. So now they line up.
Okay.
Please just work now. I'm going to save this one more time and exit out. I have to do this pretty frequently.
Yeah, talk to Shelby.
Cool. Please work. Great.
Okay.
Okay, so
So we
then
did
with
negative
the
exponents, we need
quotient rule.
quotient one. Oh, I actually think you can do the power rule at the very top and then just do a real simple one.
Well, I'd want to do that after the product rule because it's an extension of the product rule.
Yeah, so do product rule, power rule, just because I was shocked by that kids missed number 1. So I think in terms of complexity, it makes sense to do product, power, negative, quotient. Yep. Oh, and both of these actually apply to this guy. That's perfect. Okay. And so over here, you're gonna give them these examples, or honestly, you could keep the examples and then just not have the answer on there and work them out together. The less you can have the kiddos right, I think the better.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yep. So.
Just take off the 5, the 6, the.
Right. Great.
Okay, the last thing, I don't know if we can fit it on the bottom, is question 4 is a great question. It's really similar to EOC, but they have a practice problem in their practice with it, a couple of actually. They don't have one in the examples.
Mm-hmm.
where they have to actually, I don't know where I put my dollar.
So
lost
my
it.
gut would say don't add another example. It would say like make that part of the AGMO. No?
Just in case it would show it, enough kids missed it to where it was a concern. It'll take 20 seconds.
Okay, so I'm just gonna add that at the bottom.
Yes, definitely do it.
So
Even like these kids with 75s.
2x to the a times 4x to the fifth equals cool. And so
Can you put
doing
another line here?
yes.
It's really helpful for kids visually to be like, oh, here's this, there's that. Because what I do and what kids do is look for a problem that looks similar and then work backwards. Like this one looks like this one. Go back. Oh, that's because it's a. Because of your next one. There you go. Sweet. I think you have to make copies still too. Thanks, Steven.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see how these kids do in fifth period and see how the changes make a difference. Are you letting them take home their whole packet today?
Nope.
Could you collect their packets and update this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll be in the workroom after school. I'll be in the workroom. I'll just be around.
I'll be here.
I'll be here until 5:30.
I really don't want to do tutoring today.
Well, now that you're doing
Lunch office hours. I know. I just want to do that, but
just see.
I just feel like I tell kids all the time, like, yeah, you can stay. And
See who shows up today and if they really need it. So you can bring me packets and update this for period 5 just because I'm curious.
Mhm.